Hey everyone, welcome to 2022. We have made it to a new year. That's crazy. And what else is crazy is Tesla is skyrocketing, and there are a lot of expectations for 2022. Let's take a look at this. First, I think one of the biggest expectations we have for 2022 is that somehow growth will moderate. Now, this is something that does frustrate a lot of folks, obviously, because there are a lot of folks who believe, especially like the Kathy Woods of the world, that uh, growth is something that you want to invest in. That explosive growth is what's ahead of us, not moderating growth. And so with fears of moderating growth, there are a lot of folks that believe, okay, well, if we're worried about moderating growth, maybe we should invest in things like consumer staples, your Costco, your Targets, your Home Depot. And this makes sense because when you're investing in consumer staples, you're really just investing in companies that are very profitable today and are expected to remain profitable. So one of the things that I like to do though is I always like to look at how well did stocks do the year before, and do we expect that to happen again? And for many stocks, when they do well 1 year, they don't do that great the very next year after that. The rationale there is that you get a lot of folks who see a stock do very well. Like we'll look at one here, Home Depot, for example. You'll see a stock do very well 1 year, but then potentially substantially slow down the next year. Why could it potentially slow down a lot the next year? Because you get investors who are in the stock for or who join the stock for the wrong reason. For example, you get people who come in solely for the purpose of, oh, well, it went up 50%, must be a growth stock, right? Let's take a look at this. So we drop in Home Depot here. And we do a year to date, well, 1 year, I guess is what we should do. And you see a 57% gain on Home Depot. It almost sends this implication that, oh my gosh, Home Depot is a growth play. Let's go. But Home Depot is certainly a company that grows. So does Lowe's, but nowhere near something like a genomics company or an internet company or a chip company, right? So anyway, it's interesting. There's a lot of talk that, hey, if growth moderates, you want to be in the staples, you want to be in the Costco's, the Targets. Target, great company, loved it. Rode this thing during the pandemic. Look at this. Target did 30% last year. Let's grab cost here. Costco did 49% last year, right? Absolutely incredible performance. So with our typical inflation overhang, there's always this potential that a lot of folks flock towards these larger staples that did very well in 21. But I'm not convinced that these are the ones that are going to explode in 2022. Not convinced of that. I'm a little bit more middle of the road where I think I'm not convinced that I want to go all in yet on things like therapeutics and genomics, but I do like some of the higher valuation plays, but in the advertising space. Look at this. Here's, for example, Trade Desk. I just got into this position about a month ago. And throughout most of 2021, it actually didn't perform that great. It's Trade Desk, the advertising company or management company, 18%, kind of generic. Enphase and Affirm are kind of in that boat as well. I mean, look at that. Enphase, if you held it from the start of the year, was only a 6%er. I mean, that's certainly one of the lower ones. Same with Affirm, right? Now, obviously, Tesla killed it at 44% and is killing it today as well. But I mean, this is interesting to me, where I'm almost thinking to myself, well, I don't mind being in some of these middle of the road plays where I'm not going for this like hyper crazy growth, but I'm going for uh, moderated growth, or I shouldn't say moderated. I'm going for growth companies, but not that extreme growth that's going to get crushed by inflation. So I like these as core plays here. So that does make me a little bit concerned though about, for example, something like Nvidia. Nvidia just absolutely crushed it in 2021. Will it crush it again in 2022? Well, it could. I don't particularly see profitability for chipsets and self-driving autonomy fading anytime soon, but you never know. Performance could always wane. Look at that Walmart. Actually, that's an interesting one. That you've got a discretion or a staple here that that pulled a negative for the year. That's interesting. Anyway, other things to keep in mind are that some companies, like, they don't have to go up, right? This is another thing to keep in mind about stocks is higher valuation companies like Peloton, which lost folks 75% in 2021. 75%. That's insane. Redfin, 42%. I mean, this is incredible. Look at this. Let's go throw in Poshmark here. 83%. Chegg. Chegg dropped. Yeah, look at some of these returns, folks. Peloton, 75, Poshmark 83, Chegg 64. So some of the companies that have the most potentially unclear profitability path or path to sustainability, they just got destroyed. If folks believe that, for example, Peloton bikes were just a fad of the pandemic, and now it's over. That's not good. That's not good. Remember, they bought Precor for $400 million. For me, that was a big red flag. It just in one degree on valuation side, it's like, wait a minute, why are the fitness equipment manufacturers selling for so low? But it's a great thing for Peloton. Don't get me wrong; it's a wonderful thing for Peloton. But it almost signaled like, is the public market just misvaluing? Anyway, public market started to adjust its impressions. So another thing that was very interesting is that there was a report that since 1980, there have been 11 instances in which the market breadth narrowed sharply. So market breadth is how many stocks are doing well. And the argument here was that the substantially large ones within the S&P 500, Adobe, Tesla, Microsoft, Apple, Google, and so on, those were the ones that did extremely well. And between a period of April and October of 2021, you had more money flow into those large stocks, those core stocks, than other things. And that becomes a little bit of an issue, because if those don't do well, for some reason, the growth at for example, Microsoft and Apple slow down, or the stock market says, hey, we're good with you all for a while. You had a great 2021. Now it's time for other things to do well. Could the indices slow down? I don't know if honestly sometimes I think this. I wonder if like investment managers are just slamming on the S&P 500 because it did extremely well in 2021, and it was actually probably not very easy for most people to keep up with it. And that makes it a villain, right, for the money management side, because it's kind of like, what do I need a money manager for if the S&P 500 is doing well? I think it's always important to look at an investment portfolio in 5 to 10 year increments rather than year to year, but that ain't going to stop the market from comparing things year to year. So it'll be really interesting to see how 22 plays out. Another thing that I thought was interesting as well is Bloomberg talked about the power of inflation on discounting future earnings. And they just gave an example, which you could really do this very easily by grabbing a spreadsheet and just throwing in the present value, or just doing it on your phone or whatever. I forgot how to do it on my phone. I just use a spreadsheet myself, but I used to know. But anyway, you can discount. I guess I could just multiply times exponentially multiply. That's probably the way to do it. But actually, it is. But anyway, here I am remembering my college math. But anyway, if you had $1 of earnings 10 years from now, and you discounted that by 2%, it would only be worth 82 cents today. So that 82% today, compounded at 2%, should get to about $1 in 10 years. But if you discount at 5%, you take $1 in 10 years and you bring it down to only 61 cents, which is like 40% off. And what's interesting is you see a lot of that heavy discounting affecting the Cathie Wood kind of stocks. It's kind of makes sense because you've got growth further out. Now we'll see if inflation reverses course, which most expect it to, and we expect it to rotate down. Then I think that'll be very useful for helping prop up some of these stocks that got destroyed. But anyway, okay, good. So it is also another thing that is something we have to pay attention to is the flattening of the yield curve. Okay, now when I say this, I think a lot of folks might get confused by this because it's just a weird way to put it, because it's like graphs or curves, even when they're flat, or maybe not necessarily flat, but like just lines. Okay, so I think an easy thing to do is just quickly say, what do they mean when the yield curve is flat? What they mean is all you have to do is take the 10, well, it depends which yield curve you're looking at, but usually we take the 10-year, we subtract the 2-year. And let's say the 10-year was 2% and the 2-year was 0.3%, right? Well, then the difference on the chart would be 1.7, right? That would be the difference. If this now went to 1.8 and 0.4, now the difference is 1.6 at some future point in time. And if this went to, I don't know, 1.5 and 0.5, there we go, then the difference would be 1. All right. There you go. So you kind of get this. I mean, you could certainly, I suppose, see it as a curve depending on how much time goes on and if it operates in a non-linear function, which it does. But anyway, let's now say we have the rates that we have today, just so you can kind of see why people call it a curve. Right now we're at 1.59. I guess I should put that up here. 1.59, and the 2-year just hit a new high. It's kind of wild. The 2-year, oh man, just hit 0.8, right? Now you only have a difference of about 0.8. So you're here. So this is kind of what they mean when they talk about a curve. I suppose you could see something like that. But anyway, what's happening is it's flattening, right? Flattening, like here's your ultimate flat line, right? The horizontal axis, 0, flat line. And it's flattening because we're approaching 0. It's kind of like approaching well yeah, it's actually very much like approaching 0 in calculus. But anyway, okay, so that's what people mean when they mean a flattening yield curve. And when you look at the 2-year, what's really interesting is it is kind of plummeting. I'm sorry, it's not plummeting. It's the yield curve is plummeting, but the 2-year is rising substantially, and it's rising even more today. Now, unfortunately, and this isn't great, but a flattening yield curve is a potential sign of financial distress. If we flipped and the 2-year had a higher yield than the 10, then that could signal a recession coming within 12 to 18 months, which isn't great. We've already got Elon Musk thinking that. So very interesting surge today, specifically, and on the 2-year of almost 0.8. I mean, this is a high. In fact, if we just go out, when did we last see something like this? Well, I mean, look at, hold on, where were we before the pandemic? That's interesting. Well, there you go. If anything, this makes it look less bad. But what's interesting is this is where you had your last inversion, and I don't think the yield curve could have predicted COVID, but it nailed it. We had an inversion of the yield curve, and then all of a sudden we had a recession within a year. It's kind of scary, and it's consistently held true. Now the recession was because of COVID, but still. So anyway, when you look out in this context, we just see kind of that trend of declining interest rates, declining natural rates over time, but that's normal. Growth goes down, inflation goes down. That's the general trend. But the more recent surge, I think, is something that some folks look at now as really a pain because of the Fed's action. That what if we raise rates too fast, but inflation does not necessarily run up or stay up. Okay, let's see here. It looks like Neo is having a little bit of a run as well here in the pre-market. Let's take a look at what we've got with stocks. So we've got, let's start with red, and let me get the indices out here as well. Hold on a sec. Let's see here. Indices. There we go. Okay. There we go. So we got the Dow up 1/3, or about 1/3, 0.3. S&P up 0.35. NASDAQ up 0.39. So each of them sitting roughly at about a third. In terms of losers in the pre-market, let's look here. Not much. You've got Purple Innovation down 2%. You got silver down 2%. DD sitting at $4.09. You bid, otherwise everything's virtually under 1% here. You did have some interesting shifting in China, with Evergrande getting a notice to demolish some 10 buildings or so that obtained an illegal permit, or some argument like this. Sometimes I just wonder if the Chinese government really likes to assert its dominance during rough times, and it's kind of just like, hey, the impulse permit demo. It's kind of like, whoa, can we talk about this? Nope, demo. I personally doubt some of these buildings are actually just going to get demolished. Apartment buildings. I mean, it's a lot of waste, and I don't know. I mean, can't you get a permit and make sure whatever the problems there were fixed? I don't know. Maybe China says, hey, we can't inspect it. Don't trust it. Start over. It's crazy, but hey, to some degree, it kind of makes sense. I don't want to be in an unpermitted apartment building. It's one thing if somebody doesn't pull a permit for their ceiling fan or their kitchen remodel because they don't want to get stuck with the city for a year. But it's another thing when you gotta start over. Anyway, oh wow, look at that Tesla surge! Holy moly! Take a look at this here. You've got Tesla at almost 9% right now in the pre-market, sitting at about 1150. This, by the way, is my technical analysis here. We, after the report of deliveries over the weekend, I really am expecting a breakout of this channel. This channel is what we've had, right? The lower highs, the lower lows. Y'all know this, especially those of you in the Stocks and Psychology Money group. You know this. And I do believe that, as we're seeing now, Tesla's up 9% right now. But I did say this over the weekend that I did believe that this could be a breakout easily to about 1250. So it wouldn't shock me to see Tesla continue to run, but I do want to sort of dampen euphoria, because I don't love euphoria when it comes to the stock market. This is quite euphoric what's happening here in the pre-market right now. It's kind of like people are waking up, the day traders are waking up, and they're like, oh, I'm day trading Tesla today. So we'll see. We'll see how much of this is day trading and how much of this is actual investing into Tesla for the longer term. I don't want to suggest that day trading is not investing. I think it's more day trading. I mean, it's making a job out of investing, and making investment moves on a daily basis, right? Certainly under the umbrella of. But anyway, Shift Technologies up 4% right now. So, which was really interesting because Thursday we had this sort of fake out rally, and then Friday we chillaxed a little bit in the market. Now we got green. Let's see. All right. So, okay, somebody here says they bought calls for Tesla. You bought 1 and 2 week calls in anticipation of Tesla. Yeah, I don't want. I never tell anybody what to do. What you want to do is up to you. Me personally, I would probably take some of this 9-10% hype. Watch how it moves right at the beginning. But as soon as I started seeing some red, I don't know. Personally, I'd take that massive gain because I don't want to see it go back down to, up 4% because the day traders left and your options pricing has gotten substantially worse. I think you've got a sweet gain there. Personally, like nobody, what do they say? You can't go bankrupt taking a profit. That could not be more true on option contracts. Option contracts are something where I think we think, oh, if we just diamond hand it, it'll get better. It rarely does. But anyway, so yeah. All right. So what else do we have here? We've got Lemonade at 2.4, or nothing really special here. We got 9 minutes to the open here. Tesla hanging around 8.8. How is our crypto doing? So crypto, I think, is very interesting because we are going to be sort of facing these inflation headwinds of the prospect that inflation will decline. I mean, this is just perfect kind of bouncing here within our ranges here. But and then these continued false breakouts. You even have the sort of the classic trader rule is the following. You get breakout, you return to the resistance line, you bounce off the resistance line, that's it. It's a signal of the true rally. Yeah, no. Like the power of the magnet of these lines here is very, very incredible. Yeah, we are just stuck over here on BTC. So we'll see. We shall see. Mm-hmm. All right. So let's see. Let's go look and see what headlines we can hunt for over the next 8 minutes here. If you joined after I started, I highly encourage you to watch the beginning part of the stream back, even on 2x, because we talked a lot about discretionaries versus, let's say, staples or growth, or what kind of growth. I thought the intro was quite decent, so I would check that out. Yeah, never heard of Himex. I apologize. You sent $5 for me to tell you I've never heard about it, but it's true, and I don't know what to tell you either. All right, so at this point, and I've said this before, I think everybody's going to get Omicron or at least get exposed to it. Hopefully, you're asymptomatic when you do, but I really think with this case surge, like I said before, it's coming. I gave Lauren. I want to say it was about December 6th or 7th. I think we were just coming back from Cabo. And Lauren said, hey, what do you think the odds are that Max is going to get Omicron? I said there's a 95% chance that by the end of January, he's going to end up getting Omicron. I mean, I hope not. But Lauren thought I was crazy. And I'm like, we're going to have an exponential surge. It's going to be everywhere. So I think now we're basically into the thick of it. So anyway, I don't want to take this like fatalistic view either that like, oh, it's inevitable. Like, oh, don't wear your mask. You're screwed. I don't think there's an inevitability. I just think there's a high likelihood. And Mask didn't wear a mask anyway. He's 3. And I know some 3-year-olds do wear masks, but anyway, whatever. All right. How much here? Else on Bloomberg, that's new. So, okay. Families brace as monthly child tax credits cease. Yeah, what really kind of bothers me is you got a lot of folks on Twitter who are loudly who are loudly left, like extremely loudly left. And Etsy store, shout out to 420 in 3D. That's awesome. 420 in 3D. That sounds cool. Anyway, and these Twitter accounts, they are sending this signal that Congress is taking away people's monthly income, that they're being robbed of their $300 and $250 per month, that Congress is taking it away, and how dare they take away money from Americans. And I think the whole premise eludes a lot of these Twitter accounts that this was upfront supposed to be 2 6-month payments. One 6-month payment you'd get on a monthly basis, and one that you would get when you file your taxes for 2022. So this expectation that this child tax credit was supposed to last forever, it doesn't make sense to me. It's illogical. Like, if we choose to pass more stimulus, then that makes sense. But that would be an active choice. It's not like somebody's actively like rug pulling poorer people by taking away their child tax credit. Some of the lunacy on Twitter is just disgusting. But anyway, but keep that in mind. And remember, there's still a chance we're going to see that stimulative style boost when that second half comes through people's tax returns, which I would expect. Filing period opens in February, probably sometime between end of February, early March through certainly April. March, April, you'll see some form of stimulative effect of people maybe spending a little bit more money. We'll see. Somebody here says we just used it to pay off debt. Well, hey, good for you. Take it, pay off debt, invest. Anyway. All right. So Omicron and rate rises cloud optimism for 2022. That's just microphone there. Okay. Tesla opened showroom in China. Another one here. How do you say this? Xinjiang. I'm going to go with that. Anyway. India hits Apple with antitrust. Okay, let's find some more news here. Can we get anything interesting? GM and Volkswagen build up their battery supply chains amid EV push. All you need is Tesla. Look, I don't want to suggest that you want to be all in on one stock, because I do think some form of portfolio balancing is very important. So you don't want one company to go BK. Not that I think Tesla's going to go BK, but imagine it did. And then your investment portfolio went to zero, right? That would be bad. Anyway. All right, let's see here. All right. Quiet on the Wall Street Journal front. Oh, interesting. The anniversary of the Jan 6 riots coming up. Hospitalizations will be the true test of Omicron. Well, we've been watching this for a while, and fortunately, knock on wood, no crazy moves yet in hospitalizations. Even, what was really mind-blowing to me was there was all this talk about how hospitalizations for children were going up in New York, that New York City was seeing this 5x surge in children admitted to the hospital for COVID. But then they compared it to how many children go to the hospital for the flu. And it was actually less. So, the media was trying to go fearmonger about this surge of cases, these pediatric cases, when we actually were having lower hospitalizations than the flu. That was interesting. So I want to keep an eye on that. I mean, who knows? Maybe the surge is just the beginning of an inflection point. And you could end up seeing some sort of mad dash of cases, which wouldn't be good. Did NIO report deliveries, by the way? We got the bell in about 55 seconds. Oh, yeah. Wow, okay. We did actually get deliveries here from NIO. Let's see here. Over the weekend, the company said it had delivered 489 electric vehicles in December, up almost 50% from a year ago. Nice. Over 10K again. That's great. There was a lot of concern in November, or rather in October. Pretty sure it was October. They had these partial shutdowns, and there was a lot of concern then. But this is good. It's good rebound here for NIO. We finally get it over 30. decently above 30 again here. So I'm going to throw up Tesla here. I really want to see how Tesla behaves because I think this is a lot of day trading that just went into here. That's why I was suggesting, you know, you got short-term options. I'd be taking some tendies.
You're going to need to see less curve flattening in order for a lot of these financials to do really well.
Absolutely. You're also going to have to see both regulatory problems cured at both Citi and Wells. I think Wells is far ahead of that. Charlie Sharp needs to take out a lot of costs. But again, these stocks are cheap. So those who are just saying, you know what, there's nothing cheap in this market, open your eyes. Goldman Sachs sells at 6.
See, this is not a surprise to me that Tesla's actually rotating down right at the opening bell. It's a lot of trader euphoria went into that. But then again, in the first minute can be very hit or miss. You know, this could end up easily rotating back up, but that's just not a terrible surprise to me. It's still at 8%. But anyway. So NEO, 5.9%. Electromechanica also moving up nicely here. 5.7%. Playboy, 2.4. Blink, 420. I mean, 4.2. Looking towards, let's see the losers here. Voyager Digital down 6.52. All right. What's going on with Voyager? If this is updated properly or not. Anyway, because I'm not actually seeing the flashes on it moving. Anyway, Roblox 0.9%. Cloudflare's down about 0.8%. No biggie, or 0.5% actually now. It's moving around. There's not a lot of loss here. I mean, you got maybe 2 pages on our watch list of red, but it's quite nominal. I mean, 2%, 3%, 1%, big deal. It's quite nominal. Okay, it's Tesla. It's really struggling to hold on to that 8% right now. We'll see. You're getting fight back here. You know, this is again somewhat expected to see some profit taking immediately at the open here. We're now at about 7.9%. 8%. We keep going back to about that 1140 level. Tesla really wants to be above 1140 right now. So I wonder if we're going to start turning green here and stay above that 1140 figure. We'll see. A lot of pushback. Look at it. Seeing that by the dipping happening there. I mean, not that this is much of a dip. I mean, it's up. There we go. Looks like the bulls are taking over here. This is like tug of war, honestly. 8.3 now. Here we go. Can we flip it? Can we flip it? This is going to be like Squid Games. It's tug of war. That is such a weird analogy. I don't know why that works so well, in my opinion. Oh, they're getting pulled into the pit. Oh, the other team just is getting dragged. They're getting dragged into the middle. They're gonna fall into the pit. Now they're getting yoinked. Oh my gosh. Oh wow. So initial profit taking, very common to see at the first few minutes. We'll see if that trader momentum can keep going. We'll see. All right, we'll come back to this. We're not going to spend all day playing tug of war with the sticks, although it is quite entertaining. I will say. Oh no, it ain't over. They're still fighting. They're still fighting them. See, like this is the midpoint line, maybe where either the Bulls or the Bears win. Oh man. Okay, so what's STNE Limited having a little surge here. Let me see if there's any particular news for this or if this is just some momentum that's coming in here. So STNE. Let's see here. STNE. All right. So Stone, what is this? Stone, JP Income adds Ginnie Mae Pool to cut Stone. No, it's a cut to Stone. I don't even remember what they do. Take a peek, look at that. But I don't see any particular news. So provides financial technology solutions, end-to-end cloud-based technology to conduct. Oh, this was the Brazilian company. That's right. The Brazilian fintech. Right. There's been some momentum with that one at play. Oh, man. This is such an even battle between the Bulls and the Bears today. Anyway, XL Fleet trying to move a little bit here. Here we go. 6.5%. Smile Direct. Okay, some of the smalls coming back here. Smile Direct Lemonade coming back for another green day here. How's that Shift Technologies? Yeah, Shift is only about 2%. Neo's actually fallen here at the open. Neo was substantially higher. It should be pretty red here. Yeah, look at that. Neo's not having as much of a euphoric fight as Tesla is. Yeah, numbers were not as spectacular. Moderna down about 5% here. Cloudflare now down about 2.2. Let's see here. And then you got some Chinese companies over here falling a little bit more. JD, DD, and so on. How's the Rob? How's Vlad? Vlad, how you doing, man? Kind of boring over here, Vlad. We got to spice it up a little bit, okay? Tweet something, would you? That's all. It'll come in time. Oh, look at that. A nice little NVIDIA push there. Ooh, very nice. 4.2% all of a sudden. Very, very nice. We don't talk about Vlad. Yeah. All right. Almost up 4.2% on NVIDIA. All right. So Tesla is bulls are taking over. Here we go. Uh-oh. The tug of war battle continues. We are almost we just crossed 9% there for a second. We're pushing over. That's it. If we can break out of this tug of war battle, I think that's optimism for Tesla. At least for the early trading season. You never know if these traders are all just going to bail on you a couple hours before closing. Oh my gosh, the bulls are they're doing it. They're doing it. Oh my goodness. They almost go. Oh, they're pushing them over. I don't know why I'm getting so much entertaining out of this image that all of a sudden this was this epic tug of war battle, but it's oh my gosh, yeah, that is impressive. There we go. About 9.4% right now for Tesla. I mean, this is a huge move, folks. I want you to put this into perspective for a moment. This is a $1 trillion company, folks. $1 trillion company, and it just moved 9.5%. That's incredible. I want to see that 10%. Can we get to that 10%? 9.6. There we go. 9.7. Again, if you're just now joining, I recommend that you watch from the beginning. We talked a lot about the flattening yield curve, risks for 2022, how the market could be different, stocks that could do well compared to ones that have already maybe had their run. So highly encourage that. We now have a full candlestick forming, wick included, above our tug of war line here. We'll see if this ends up reversing, but we'll come back. All right. So how are indices performing right now? And then we'll go hunting a little bit more for some news. Oh, the indices are actually apparently doing very well. Oh, Enphase. Enphase not doing much right now. Let's go see NBC. Wait, what? This isn't the California I married. Wait. Please poop on the governor. Oh, this is about fires. 41 minutes long. Is it only about fires? Yeah, it is. Oh my gosh, it is. That's interesting. A very deep dive there, probably on the fires. Anyway, what was it? Now I forgot what I was looking at. Dang it. Oh well. Okay, so we'll go find something else. Bloomberg. Oh, that's right. We were going to look at the indices. Oh, that is an interesting goggle set. The 2022 glasses there. Okay, so Dow Jones still sitting at about a third. You know what really took off here so far is the Nasdaq. The Nasdaq was up about 0.3 at open, and we're now up about 0.82. Very interesting. At the same time as some stocks are falling, this here is actually end phase, going back down to about that 180 level. Cloudflare. Wow. Cloudflare is at 124 right now, sitting down about 4.57%. And Matterport is having a sticky situation over in that 20 to 22 region. Tesla's almost at 10%. Oh my gosh. It's going to go to 10%. This is incredible. Huh. All right. There it is. 10%. We just touched it. Oh my gosh. We touched it. That's incredible. All right. So we've got, wow. This is somewhat unreal to watch. And what's really incredible about it too, and this is, I think, something very important in the stock market, is that it's not only momentum. Yes, don't get me wrong, there is a lot of momentum in this, but it's moving for a fundamental reason. It's not moving because Wall Street Bets posted something, right? It's moving because the company did something good. The company performed extremely well. So shout out to Tesla. Honestly, that's very empowering. So good for Tesla. Hopefully that's very motivating to everyone who works at Tesla. Oh, it's so weird writing the date, January 3rd, 2022. There you go. Tesla is over. This is the first trading day. Yeah, first trading day of the year. Tesla gets off like this. Unreal timing. Anyway, all right. Nvidia stable around that roughly 3.75, 4-ish% here. Shift. Well, there's Lucid about 2.5%. Shift 2.5%. Neo really gave up a little bit. Wanted to sympathize. Wanted to simp for Tesla, but just didn't work. Couldn't keep it up. And Moderna is getting smoked here, folks. Moderna now down about 6.8%. I do wonder now if there is news for Moderna, but I'm also seeing Cloudflare continue to drop, down about 5% right now. It's so weird. I sold all of my Cloudflare last week, was it? I don't know, something like that. Anybody in the Stocks and Psychology Money group knows because, well, y'all get the buy sell alerts, I said. But that is weird. I do wonder if there's news for mRNA and Cloudflare. Now, one of my theses, and I've been saying this throughout the pandemic, is that I really want to get into an exposure to the mRNA style companies, or for in terms of what they can even do for like cancer and things like that, right? Like deep medical research and innovations, the therapeutics and that. But I've regularly said that I don't want to get into them during the pandemic because I think that they've become an escape for people. So I kind of think they're like a crowded safe room. So it's kind of like you're in a building and all of a sudden there's a tornado coming, and everybody's running into like the Moderna and the Peloton, right? Like people are getting out of those rooms and they're not going back to them. So I really think that those are an expected bleed and have been an expected bleed or to bleed. But let's see here. We've got mRNA. I don't really see news here. Yeah, some firm makes an investment. No, blah, blah, blah. That's boring. Okay, so I don't particularly see news on Moderna. Let's see if there's Cloudflare news that's making us move on Cloudflare. And then we'll also take a look at what the suits are saying. No Cloudflare move here. Or news, I should say, rather. It's so weird. The thing ran to like $200 too. Tech's gain hindered value sectors gaining much S&P. Okay, last year, all of the sectors in the S&P 500 posted double-digit gains for the first time. Cyclical sectors had a robust 21. However, the rally in tech prevented groups such as energy and banks from gaining much ground in the index. Oh, gaining ground, in other words, relative to tech. Well, of course. Financials, including banks, also outperformed. S&P energy is only now 2.7% of the S&P. Yet tech, the third best performer of 2021, added to its weight. Tech now making up 29.2% of the S&P. Wow. I'm a sucker for tech. Okay, it's like look, you can have your choice of men or women. Like if if you're into women, maybe you like blondes, maybe you like brunettes. Maybe like a certain. It's kind of like that for me with stocks. I just a sucker for that tech. So it'll be interesting to see how 2022 does. I really also, as a result, hope that inflation inflects down, but you can't will it. You have to be realistic. If inflation doesn't inflect down, then you're going to be in for a little wild ride. Final manufacturing PMI just came in at 57.7, tiny little bit lower than expected, 57.8, and a little bit lower than the previous. So a little slower there on the manufacturing orders. All right, how are things continuing to evolve here? The news on Moderna is nobody wants their booster due to slightly worse side effects. Literally everyone in line asked for Pfizer or Moderna. Is this true, or are other people seeing this as well? Yeah, so I don't know anything about that. I can't fact check this or corroborate this, but that is interesting if that is potentially the case, because we do now have Moderna down about 7.15%. Cloudflare down about 5.22. CrowdStrike's also moving down. So what it really looks like is you're having a continuation of the software compression here, folks. Even now Affirm's rotating down about 2%. But Unity, Monday.com, Bill.com, Roblox, Cloudflare, CrowdStrike, the more expensive software ones seem to be the ones rotating down. DocuSign rotating down. Redfin's caught up in the mix. Tesla's hanging out right at that about 10% level. Let's see here. NVIDIA 3.6. Robinhood's having a little bit of a move. There's nothing to get excited about with Robinhood. It seems to just toy with us around this 18 range. GGPI sitting at 2.78. Yeah. Oh, it's so weird. Itchy head, but then there's no hair. What I will say about having no hair is, shampooing is the fastest it could ever possibly be. All right. Can we have a hunt for some more headlines here, please? FDA expands Pfizer booster eligibility to kids 12 to 15. It's weird. I thought it was really booster eligibility. I didn't know they did that separately. I thought if they approved the vaccine, a booster would also. I guess not. I guess it is separate. Anyway. All right. So let's see here. Yeah. Decision for there's nothing to see here. Wall Street Journal and Bloomberg. This was boring. COVID drove workers to quit. Here's why from someone who saw it coming. Okay, some theories about. Hold on, what's this? Enphase moving down 3% in one bar. Is that true? What's going? Oh, whoa! What just all of a sudden happened here? Hold on, this is Hood. Oh, Tesla's seeing it as well. What just happened? Oh my gosh! What is happening? What the heck? Dude, the S&P 500 was just rallying. It was up 0.5%. We're getting rug pulled. It's a rugging. The stock market. Welcome to 2022 where the stock market rug pulls you. Oh my gosh. What's happening? Everything just rotated to the downside here. I don't know what just happened. It certainly is not going to be market manufacturing PMI. Hold on a sec. Let me see here. What is this? I don't particularly see a reason. Huh. Okay. That is a very disappointing way to update enthusiasm here, or to rob us of enthusiasm. Yeah, look at that. What happened? Hold on a sec here. Did somebody say Biden tweeted something? I don't know. That this could be somebody being facetious. Let's see here. 20 minutes ago. Lead in the water. No. Biden. No. No. Okay, this is quite odd. How are the indices? That was very unexpected. It's a live rugging. Oh my gosh. Everything just went red. Dude, we just had ourselves a stock market rug pull. What is happening? Golly, that was in the 18 minutes was I guess that's okay, yeah, I mean, seems a little short, but I guess that's okay. I don't know. Can we get it up again? Can we keep going? I don't know. The Dow literally just went from positive 0.35 to negative 0.24. The S&P was up to 0.5%. Now it's negative 0.06. The NASDAQ ran up to 0.08. I'm sorry, 0.8. It almost ran up 1%. And now it's almost flat. All right, is 2022 going to be the year where we start putting Kahlua in our coffee? Oh my goodness. Okay. Carnival saying, don't worry. The party's continuing. Yeah, no, there's no way it was the manufacturing PMI. This is no. Moderna continuing to fall. Hitting a somewhat bottom here, 124 on cloud. Oh, look at the Matterport dropping under 20. Oh, that's breaking a floor. Uh-oh. Hold on a second here. That's not good. Hold on. We're getting some floor breaks here. This is a bad thing, actually. Hold on. Floor breaks. Okay. Cloudflare, Matterport have just both broken their floor today. Wow. Wait, what was the floor for Toast? Uh, 30. No, we're still above the floor for Toast. What's happening? Upstart 146. Software continuing to press. Well, Tesla's trying to come back up. Hold on, let's go to the minute. Yeah. See, Tesla's. Wow. That was a very weird movement there. That was broad-based, too. I mean, everything got hit. Wait, where'd Carnival just go? I thought Carnival was doing well up here. Oh, there it is. Yeah, it is. Okay. Okay. What? Now they're all green. This is what a roller coaster that was right there. That was intense. All right. Well, Tesla's back over 9% now. And well, Dave & Buster's. Oh, Dave & Buster's almost at $40. I do want to pay attention to some of these breaks here, though, folks. That is not a good sign. Matterport broke. We actually had written down Cloudflare at 130, and Matterport 21 to 22. We have broken all of these right now. Matterport at 19.9. Cloudflare at now 123, 124. Xpeng down 3.7. Snowflake. Let's see, how's Snowflake been behaving lately? Day looks bad. Yeah, definitely a consolidation here. Well, I guess the 2022 is going to be the year of buy the dip. Oh, wait, that was 2021 and we're out of money. 2022 isn't supposed to go that way. Unless, of course, you're in Tesla. Then you can sell Tesla and go buy the dip on everything else. Adobe. Not near floor, so that's good. Not a lot terribly red. It's still, when I say terribly red, I want to say not a lot that's like super, super deep, but we've definitely increased the super deep. Like we started out with the biggest thing that was down was Purple Innovation was down like 2%, right? Well, all of a sudden now we've got things like Monday.com down 6.7%, Cloudflare's down 6%, Roblox down 4.33%, Affirm down 4%, JD down 3.8%. All of a sudden, out of nowhere. So we are seeing an expansion here of the pain. How is Bitcoin performing during this bizarreness here? Tesla back to 9.35. Not sure if it's going to make it to that 10% closing on day one here, but BTC did not like this. Look at that, folks. Come on, man. Like, could you be more? Bitcoin. We need to have a conversation. When I draw lines, I respect it when you dance around them. It makes me feel good because it means my technical analysis is on point. But we need to have a conversation, okay? At some point, we're going to have to break up from these lines. At some point, you're just going to have to move on. I hope that is to the upside. We'll see. Okay, Etsy down about 1% here. ARCG's down a little. Yeah, today it is a Tesla day, folks. Is Vlad surviving? Vlad's surviving. 2.66%. We're getting a slight curve there on Hood. Look at that. This is basically the beginning of a breakout rally here for Robinhood. That's it. We're going to the moon. You see this, folks? Look at those charts. Look at those candlesticks. This is how the moon. This is how rocket ships take off at Robinhood. Oh my gosh. Okay. Going back to the minute here, just to understand, looks like we did hit some form of bottom here on Neo intraday. Also, NVIDIA, some form of bottom here within the last 5 minutes. Tesla, same thing. Some sort of bizarre sudden selling we saw there. Let's see if so far I haven't seen anything that the suits have said. Carnival's doing actually very well right now. Let's see here. Yeah, here's a little update that came by a couple minutes ago. U.S. equities paired gains and treasuries extended losses as traders braced for the start of a potentially volatile year and 3 expected rate hikes from the Fed. S&P was little closed after 20 minutes in. Bottom line, the outlook is positive, but the removal of stimulus/accommodation from the global economy is a major theme to watch in 2022. It'll be the first time since 2018 that the Fed is hiking rates, and that change will impact markets throughout the year. Among notable moves, Tesla, we've already talked about that. NVIDIA. As we flip the calendar over, many of the current market concerns are well known and arguably well priced in at both the index and more predominantly at the average stock level. We suggest markets have done an overly efficient job in selling the rumor and will likely start buying the news. Well, we'll see. Okay, that's just one fund manager's anticipation. Okay. Well, let's go back over to the sticks. Taking a brief look here. Carnival taking off, my friends. Carnival Cruise Lines doing very well. Carnival Cruise Lines didn't mind, that the brief power outage at the party. The party is continuing, folks. The party continues. Except for Tesla is also slowing down again here, that 8.5%. Carnival Cruise Lines, 5.3%. That's a big move. Delta Airlines, 3.7%. This comes after the airlines warn of a very tough Q1 ahead. Shift Technologies, 3.3%. NVIDIA, 2.6%. Okay. Looking at the downside, Moderna recovering a little bit. Kind of feels like some of these things have hit a bottom intraday here. A little bit of an intraday bottom, kind of flipping back up. You see that Nike check mark there, reverse Nike check mark on a firm in the spark pattern. Okay. Some of that pain is now subsiding. Boy, oh boy, it is going to be an interesting year. Well, welcome to 2022, folks. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to leave the Tesla chart up just for the time being. And I'm going to go make myself another cup of coffee. So, my friends, thank you very much. Appreciate it. And y'all rock. We'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.